Puck is flipped forward. Burgesson now inside Vikes territory. There's a battle for the puck. Newens comes crashing in, throws his weight around a bit. Josh Green replies in kind. Solid staple along the boards by Burgesson, and now Cage Newens goes for one more hit along the end boards. Boy, the Mariners are really applying the gas now. They'll get a change. Daniels, Coutelier come out to join McGuire. And the forecheck now by Ways as he flushes his man out from behind the goal. Josh Green weaving his way to center. Right shooting defender just plays it in behind the goal. Fleet meets it on the backhand of his stick. Plays it along the boards, kept it into the point shot, and that's off of the stick and turned to the corner by Fleet. Out to center it goes. Mariners on the counterattack, 3-on-3 off of the inside of Coutellier's skate, and that almost, and it does break it up. Long stretch pass, finds Alexander Smith in motion. He gets a drop pass through the middle. Oh, they tried to drive it to the net. And they were ultimately looking for the trailer, Nicholas Hughes, but he couldn't get his stick on it. The pass just got deflected at the last moment before it came to him. Great counterattack by the Vikes, and they're finding ways, just like a boxer, to throw counter punches even when the pressure's on, and they look like they're fading up against the ropes. On the near side to Maud. Tried a saucer pass. That goes off of the skate of Nicholas Hughes, and he's been everywhere. Puck is sent down ice, but that's not going to make it through the middle. Sato puts on the brakes, took a bump. Strom tried to poke it forward, and they get some support from the D right near center. Lots of play in the neutral ice here at the moment as Corbett throws a hit. Wickham sends it down. Garrity comes out to play it, comes to the point, and it's just poked over the line, and now they're going to see what they can do with this. Andrew Castellato puts on a bit of a forecheck here, but pass goes to Strom. He gets the backhand pass away. Corbett and Sato going to the middle, finds him, backhand. Oh! Robbery! Absolute stunner of a save by Ronan Garrity, getting the trapper on that one as he flashes the leather. And go ahead, take a drink, Ronan. You need to cool down after that hot stuff. Sato did everything he needed to do. He took the puck across the crease. He went to the backhand. He put it aerial on that save. If you look at the replay, you'll see that Garrity had fell down right in front of him off of the trapper. Didn't know where it was, but he knew he got most of it. Play just outside the line. Corbett spins away from a check. Sato spinning with his check at center as a do-si-do. One stick in one hand, one in the other. That was he and Mason Hartley doing a little bit of a dance on ice. Towards a goal, a sharp angle shot. That was a good save off of the right shoulder against the grain. 26 seconds, and that puck sent outside the line. That'll be a tough pill to swallow if the Vikes can't get another offensive chance out of this. Just a little bit outside the blue line. They maybe could have kept the pressure on, and now we've got a set two happening right in front of the Mariners bench as they motion for Hunter to get on the bench. There's a scramble there, and I can see one of the participants. Cade Laskoski, he was all caught up with Davis Sato, and I think I'm not sure, I think they're both going, yes, so it'll more than likely be coincidental minors. So with just a hair under 15 seconds to go, looks like there'll be coincidental minors. I don't see any indication that it'll be an extra penalty either way, but we'll have to wait and see. Look, Don Miller giving the hand signals to the referee. Oh, maybe there might be an extra two here being afforded to the Vikes. Cade Laskoski looking on intently. Yes, there is. He is getting the extra two for instigating that little kerfuffle in front of the Mariners bench. So now they're going to have to get one of their members to skate over. That's going to be Austin Montgomery Parsons serving the additional two. So the Mariners, if they don't score in the next 14.7 seconds, they'll carry over a minute 45 power play into period two. They have one power play goal. It only took them 15 seconds. Maud on the point. One touch to Earhart. Loads through the middle. Tried to get it through. Newen shoots, and that one's blocked. 5 seconds to go. To Maud on the point. Fakes the shot. Near side Newen fires it. And what a good save by Ronan Garrity as he came from his left to his right, and he got, I think, the top part of his sternum or neck and chest pad on that. So they both got 2 for roughing, but there was the additional roughing minor assessed to Cade Laskowski. So now just 0.3 seconds left, and I don't think the Mariners, they get it to Earhart, but not enough time to let that one fly from about 28 feet out. And that will sew up this first period, and that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play in the books. The Mariners jumping out to a 1-0 lead, and that was on the heels of a major penalty that they had to kill. It was a 5-minute major assessed to Ewan Morrison, whose night is done after that hit 2.5 minutes into the period. Shots in that first period, the VIU Mariners with 14 and 6 for the UVic Vikes, but they do stand knotted at 1 apiece and carrying on with their relatively hot play. Carson Earhart loading up for the Mariners and scoring on the power play just 15 seconds into their first opportunity, and a good answer back in all honesty here by the UVic Vikes, as they just they didn't let that set them back, and they just kept pressing, and they get rewarded. And don't forget, Tom Sweeney hit the post in that opening period too, and that was just on the very backside of that major power play. It was about maybe about 10 seconds left in that major penalty. So the Mariners actually probably feeling a little fortunate, even though they lead in the shot category, to come out tied 1-1 after 20 minutes. And the one thing that they are certainly more ecstatic about is to have the minute 46 worth of power play that they'll be using coming up here once we get to period number 2. And as for the game that was last night, I took just a couple of notes here on the game, and of course we mentioned about Carson Earhart, who's just continued right on rolling here. Ethan Jones actually not in the lineup here tonight, so that's definitely one important piece of the puzzle for the Mariners that has changed since last night. Ethan Jones, he was the second star. Carson Earhart, he was the first star of the game. And for the UVic Vikes, JJ Pickle, whom I also haven't seen, I don't believe that I've seen him out there as well, and I'll have to double check. Jack Laser, he's injured. Ryan Strange, the captain, he's out. Bryce Minton, Booker Daniel, Kyle Crew, Marco Tokic, Eric Clark. Yes, and there he is on the injury report. His name was stuffed right up against some stats for Justin McKnight. It was hard to see him there. JJ Pickle, Cole Fournier, Hunter Tarves, Robson Scott, Lucas Byrne, and Garrett Hereshka, and Owen Evers, all not in the lineup for the Vikes, so they're traveling a little bit light here tonight, but they're making it work. They are still sporting the full 4 lines and their 3 defensive pairings, and of course starting goaltender Ronan Garrity and backup Jacob Drapeau. Cage Newen's having a strong night last night as well, scoring on the power play, and he's really been driving the net hard and creating some opportunities on the forecheck, and I'm thinking probably going to see a little bit more of him in period number 2 and 3, and probably most noticeably on the score sheet. Earhart with that important 4-2 goal last night. They actually had built a 5-2 lead, so the Vikes really powered back, led by Daniel and Evers. Evers scoring on the power play to make it an unlikely 6-5 lead that they cut from 5-2, but ultimately they come back just a little bit shy, and they drop that one 6-5 last night, but it was still a very entertaining game, and I hope it's another portent of things to come. That one taking place at the Ian Stewart Complex in Victoria, and there is other action tonight in the BCIHL. I'm gonna see if I can try and pull up the most current result here. So just a little bit ahead there. Now I believe it's supposed to be the Okanagan Lakers and Trinity Western U Sports playing at the George Preston Recreation Center. But I don't know that I have an update on that at the moment. Let's see if I can pull this up. No, that just pulls up the Lakers themselves. Let's try this one. But it is exhibition. And no, sorry, I just can't seem to, pardon me, that is the Eastern Washington University taking on the Logan Lake Miners in exhibition play. And pardon me, I think I misspoke earlier, but this is still exhibition play here between the Mariners and the UVic Vikes, but they're sure not playing like that's exactly the situation. Both teams going pretty hard here this evening, and the 1-1 tie is what they both have to show for it. Of course, the Mariners with some extra shots on goal, but they're, as I mentioned, Tom Sweeney ringing one hard off the post at the tail end of that major power play. So it could theoretically be a little less close for the VIU Mariners, but they're hanging in there, and they've got another 2 periods to go. And period number 2 is going to start off with a power play for 1 minute and 46 seconds. So just going to step away for a few moments here, and we'll be back for second period action. It's tied at 1. UVic Vikes and the Mariners going to have a great second period coming up here very shortly, just about 8.5 minutes. Things off here, second period style. Just a reminder that Tom Harris Community Foundation helping make these games all possible, and their mission to enhance the quality of life in our community, and it aligns perfectly with what we strive for on and off the ice. We are grateful for their support and commitment to making a positive impact in Nanaimo. That's the Tom Harris Community Foundation. And of course, some notable sponsors such as Original Joe's, Archie Johnstone Plumbing and Heating, and the Saints team. The Saints team, they're professional financial advisors that continually strive to see every client realize all their financial dreams. Thanks for joining this stream. And we are back in business. Period number 2. Cage Newens kicks the puck back. Carson Earhart, he'll swing that one around the right face-off circle, and away he comes. He picks the right side over the line with Daniels trailing him. Goes around behind the goal, right shooting forward, goes for a lap with 1:25 remaining on the power play, drops off. Maud gets a return pass, sends it near side to Earhart, has one in the middle, that's Daniels, turns and looks, there's a shot, and that one tipped up over the goal. Earhart first one to it. Plays it to Maud, takes a step in, fakes the shot, low angle for Hunter, and I think he was thinking Maud was going to shoot. No worries, though. They still got a buck on the power play to work with. Saucer pass to Earhart, maybe just a little too far in front, but he manages to get it back. Loads, fires off the blocker, turned away by Ronan Garrity, who had that unbelievable glove save in that first period, keeping things tied 1-1. Pressure down ice by Tom Sweeney on this PK that has 39 seconds left in it, and that back check is going to bring about another power play. And more importantly, the next 36 seconds will be a two-man advantage for the Mariners. Alexander Smith, his stick poking away near the back of the skate of the puck carrier, and that was just enough to take him down at the blue line. And that's going to be, it's going to create a very tough situation here for just the next 36 seconds or so, but that face-off win's going to help. Cleared to the point. McGuire knocks it down. Cole McGuire, oh, he kept it alive on the line. It was just bouncing around, but he had it there. Gets a return pass on the point. Left shooting defenseman over to Wickham. Thought about shooting, and now it's played to the point, and that one will squeak outside the line on him. Face-off over to the left of Garrity, and that face-off win was a little too emphatic. It split the D, and down ice it goes for McGuire. He'll spin around. 3 men about the same position as him as he breaks in over the blue line. McGuire into the slot. There's a chance. Oh, Burgesson had all sorts of room, and he let a hard snap shot go. Great save by Garrity. Now 1:08 remaining on the last penalty. McGuire through the middle of the ice. Drop down, good shooting, and that caught a piece of the goaltender's glove and the post. Oh, wow, Garrity getting a piece of that with his glove and the post. What an opportunity there. And that would definitely have changed this one. McGuire snapping it in, funny bounce out in front. Corbett trying to drive the goal, and he has to lift his leg. He was right in the goaltender's side crease there, with Garrity coming over to his right to try and make that stop and cut off the room. Good play both ways. Earhart now in over the line, drops it off. Hunter had to kick it to a skate, cross crease. Oh, and they can't get the handle on it, and a good collection there on the backside. Sent down ice by the PK unit, sent the length of the ice. Pass up through the middle, finds Daniels, gets it to Earhart, drop pass back to Daniels, shoots off of the outside of the goal stick, bounces off the netting, and with both pads jammed up against the post, that's a great save by Garrity. Boy, he's looking sharp tonight. So Garrity getting a nice rolling save off there as he hugged his post initially, had to let go for a second, and he came right back. Both legs powered up together, holding tight to the post. Solid goaltending here, and you know, you talk about the importance. Oh, we actually have maybe a few seconds remaining in that penalty. I'm not sure. They've just returned Cade Laskoski to the box. So I don't know if he had a misconduct in there. We'll have to see what it is because there's nothing showing on the time clock. Here's a give and go through the middle and unable to get the pass back through to Zion Lavoie. There was a lot of bodies in the middle, in through the slot. That evaded everyone, gets to the point, kept in though and sent into the corner. Nicholas Hughes, sharp angle shot, and that is stopped. Lots of bodies coalescing in front of the goaltender, Matt Fleet, and there's some fans, they'd like to see that boil over a little bit. Cook having a couple of words as they leave that area with Savek Brar, a former Surrey Eagle of the BCIHL, a 5'10", 185-pounder, and he's being escorted towards his bench. There's no penalties being called on the play. Must have been some kind of misconduct that's being served right now by Cade Laskoski. That's the only thing I can think of, but he is still in the penalty box. But we are 5 aside and at full strength both sides. Shots are 18 for the Mariners, 6 for the Vikes, and that's the way they came into the period. That early power play set them back, but they've killed that. They try and drive through 2 on the left side through the face-off circle, but that's broken up and sent in by Cook. On the far side, Mariners get a fortuitous bounce at the point, shot through traffic, and that one sails wide on the Trapper side. Into the corner go the Mariners, hopping over one check and then a second one. Aiden Corbett from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Shot off the glass. They were able to take a stab at it, see if they could block and get in the road, and there's a delayed call, I believe, coming up against the Mariners, and it looks like it's going to be roughing or potentially boarding, pardon me. Now, I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, yeah, no, it is just the Mariners getting the single penalty here. As I mentioned, Garrity was skating out of his crease, so he knew the delayed call was coming up to Landon Strom. So now the Mariners down a man here. 5-on-4 hockey for the Vikes. Face off to the left of Matt Fleet, but that face-off win frees it up for Catelier, and he sweeps it off the boards, gives chase. And a good hustle back gets that one set up for the Vikes. Eric Stinson, former Kerry Park Islander. Now it's flipped in high and deep. Into the corner it goes. Pass, cross crease, some time and room through the middle. Puck bounces around in front, and it was tipped by Cade Laskoski. But that got through to the goaltender, and Fleet, he was into the butterfly. He was ready for that. Matt Fleet, a Calgarian, good size, and obviously very mobile goaltender. Watches the puck careen past him on his glove side, and shot out by his defense. Ways is going to skate down ice and apply a little bit of pressure on this power play that has 1:14 remaining. Can he get on top of that puck? Well, at least he forced a tough pass. Oh, and a good keep in down the wing. 2 going to the middle, 2 on goaltender, holding, shoots. Big save by Matt Fleet when he needed it the most. It's a 2 on goaltender, and you don't see that too often, but they had to shoot, and only one of them could do it, so it almost basically was a 1 on goaltender. But technically it was a 2 on nothing. There is a great effort off of the wing by the Vikes as they streak in over the line, poking that puck forward, and they created a great chance off the backside of it. Now just under a minute to go in the power play, but the Mariners, they'll get it down ice, kill some more seconds here. Good collection behind the goal. Sharp angle shot, and that one steered aside. Davis Sato cracking that one off of the left pad of Garrity in the right wing position. Carried in behind the goal. Fleet swings over to his right. Puck comes to the point. One-touch pass. Looking for the right lane now. Montgomery Parsons dishes off. There's the shot. Scored! Tipped in front. And it looked like Dario Zitko got a piece of it. And it's a power play goal. And the Vikes get their first power play marker, and they grab the lead. More importantly, it's a 2-1 lead for the Vikes on the heels of that power play. Great traffic in front, and Dario Zitko couldn't have cruised through the slot at a better time. And the former Florida Eagle of the USPHL Premier League pots one in, and it's a nice go-ahead goal on the power play for the Vikes as they worked that puck around well, and they got a perfect screenshot off. Dario Zitko right in the perfect position to get a tip on that between Matt Fleet's pads. Mariners avoid a check on the way out of their own zone, and forcing his way was Jackson Goods. Gets it to Nguyen's shot, and that was immediately cleared down ice. And it's going to be an icing call. So number 71 getting an important goal here, and on shot number 8, they're able to find their second goal. And so the Vikes, they're making premier usage of every opportunity that they're getting. Face-off now over to the left of Ronan Garrity. Goods into the face-off circle. Tyson Pauzé out on the point behind him. On the right, Burgesson giving chase in behind the net. Good work by Goods. Gets it to Burgesson. He tried the hard pass through the slot, was looking for Nguyen, but it comes to Pauzé shooting wrister, and that was tipped wide of the goal. I think it might have gotten a piece of one of the defenders, Justin McKnight, in front as well. All sorts of bodies battling in the corner as play vacated the zone, but Burgesson can't bring that puck in yet. He's got a mate trapped offside. That's Nguyen, who went down hard in the corner. Here's a chance out in front. Shot goes off of a stick, and I think McGuire got a piece of that. Mariners, potential break, and they found it. Here he comes in on goal, faking forehand, backhand, scores! Underneath the legs and in, Jackson Goods. Beautiful forehand to backhand move, and they've dialed it right back to 2. Beautiful goal on the breakaway, and the pass, part of me finds Burgesson. So sorry, it looked like it was Jackson Goods. The 28 and the 29 was so close together, but they worked together seamlessly, and Burgesson gets an important marker, and it's tied now 2-2 here in period number 2. Great collegiate hockey happening here tonight inside the Nanaimo Ice Center, and don't tell these guys it's an exhibition game. Corbett takes a swipe at it at the left point, has it go off the wall to Matt Catelier. Oh, and a stick handle there, almost got it loose for Hunter. Hunter Burgesson scoring for the Mariners, and we're all tied up. Nice play off of the back of the net. Long stretch pass. That was touched while in flight by Mason Hartley, but he couldn't maintain control. It was a bullet pass. Mariners reloading in their own zone. Earhart on the back pass, couldn't feed Cook. Hard shot from in front, and that one sails up over the net. Alexander Smith cracking that one. It didn't miss by much, but it hooked up on him. It was getting high really quick in a hurry, but it almost found the bar. Mariners, all sorts of pressure on Danforth as he has to watch it go off of the sideboards. A couple of spin moves off of the half wall and right back into the corner from Mason Hartley. Hartley gets it to the half wall, but the Mariners shovel it forward for Corbett. He has Hunter with him. Hunter had to hang a skate though, so he's going to take a second to get to the goal. The back pass doesn't find him as it just cruised through the slot. Hard hit right in front of the Mariners bench. And immediately calling for a change was Hartley. He's gassed. Bodies flying all over the place near the blue line for the Vikes, but they get the puck free. Cook has a look into the corner, plays it off for Catelier. He can't catch up with it as the defense has been solid, but out of the corner at the below the goal line, Ways now on the backhand, stops up, finds a man in the slot. Oh, Daniels, it was just a little too close in for him, and he was being watched carefully there by Alexander Smith. Puck is sent the length of the ice, and this is going to be an icing call against the Vikes. So they're going to need to try and find a way to win this face-off, or at least get the puck down ice so they can get a change here on the backside of that longer shift for the Vikes. And it looks like they're trying to set something up. Alexander Smith talking to his mates on the plan there. Wickham from distance, he was always looking tip off of Maud. Sharp angle shot, that's off the outside of the net. Mariners in front, another save off of the left pad. Ronan Garrity keeping this one close for the Vikes. Wickham cross ice in the slot, there's a shot. Oh, and a great defensive play by number 55. Reed Fryer getting his stick in the road when his goaltender really needed a helping hand. Daniels from distance, and that's not going to trouble Garrity with the kind of quality he's been facing tonight. And he'll hang on to that one just about the halfway point of the second period. Shots now 25 for the VIU Mariners, 8 for the University of Victoria Vikes. But the strange thing is the Vikes, they're more than hanging around. We got a 2-2 tie, and they erased a 1-goal deficit, grabbed a lead. Now we're back to square one. Wickham off of the boards. Good job to get a helping hand from Maud as Wickham plays it back to him one more time. Left shooting defenseman gets it along the far side boards. Matthew Catelli battling tooth and nail with his check. That was Sam Lewis who'd stepped up into the play, getting some help from the backside. He's hoping as the Mariners nearly pickpocketed the defense there, but they'll have to settle for a pass up of the half wall. And now a reset up of the left side, looking for the pass through the middle, and that was just a little too far. And from their own side of center, Zion Lavoie just mistimed that. So they're going to have a similar situation. They've got a few tired players out there. But it's a 5-on-5 situation. A face-off over to the right of Ronan Garrity. Mariners win that draw. D-to-D over to Tyson Pause. Nice pass across the line. Shot in front, looking for the tip, and it was tipped. But it never reached the goaltender as it was deflected by Strom at the last second. Into the corner goes Pause, and he staples his man along the boards. Carson Strom, the other Strom out there, and didn't really realize that was happening until it did. And now they'll battle for the puck at the blue line. Mariners backing up now as the Vikes play it ahead through Sam Lewis's stick, the former Kamloops Storm of the KIJHL. And he has 3 assists through 11 games here with this club. And the puck is sent down ice. Tried that last little second burst of speed, did Dario Zitko, our most recent Vikes goal scorer, on the power play. A nice tip in front, and he went to a place where sometimes good players get rewarded. Dario Zitko with a power play goal on shot number 8, but they haven't had another shot since. And actually, we've got a goaltending change to tell you about as Jacob Drapeau now getting into the crease. So a 2 goals on 25 shots. My math said it was an 88 save percentage. There's a shot off of the goal stick knob. Jacob Drapeau getting tested immediately in as he gets set into the crease, but he looks completely ready for the opportunity. And I'm sure that they knew, being an exhibition game coming in, that they would be splitting a workload like that. Mariners settle into the face-off circle. Burgesson, he had that goal that tied things up, and he wins the face-off. Newens in behind the goal, lost the handle for a moment, but he battles to get it back. He falls down, maybe was hoping for a call, but he gets back up and throws his shoulder in as he checks hard in the corner. And now we've got a stoppage in play as he and Justin McKnight had hit each other quite hard, and I think that's going to be is it only McKnight going? Yes. So McKnight getting singled out, and so he'll head off for his second penalty of the game, and this one is for high sticking on Cage Newens. Face off to Drapeau's left. Newens in the face-off circle, right shooting player, played it between his legs, gets it back. Oh, looking for the far side pass to tip off of Daniels, who just had it out of his reach a little bit as he goes back towards the goal, sets up the screen. Earhart walks across the line over to Hunter. Hunter fades away from one check, returns it to Earhart. Earhart trying to just feather that one through to Maud, who'd snuck in from the point into the slot. From behind the goal they go. Danforth into the corner. Hunter plays it off, and now Maud has his stick poked right near the blue line, so he lost possession of it momentarily on the poke from Alexander Smith. Nice touch pass though to Hunter, who's back in flight down the wing, takes it around, driving wide, backhand goes right onto the stick of Alexander Smith, and he'll send it the length of the ice, now down to just over a minute remaining in this power play for the Mariners. Quickly down ice goes Earhart. He has 4 over the line with him. Shot off of the blocker and way up into the netting. And Earhart will force an offensive zone face-off situation here that favors the Mariners, so they'll have a chance to change their personnel, and wisely the UVic Vikes do the same. Once again, the face-off to Drapeau's left. This time Jackson Good, the right shooting centerman, that's in the face-off circle, and he wins that one over to Burgesson, who has the most recent goal of the game. Bounce pass off the boards, finds McGuire, Cole McGuire, left shooting defender, plays it across forward. There's a hard shot, hit the defender in front, and that was a good block there by Sam Lewis as he let it hit him in the hip area, and he let it drop down, got it outside the line, made the safe play. And now the Mariners down to 25 seconds of power play on the near side to McGuire, looking into the middle, goes deep behind the goal, plays it off of the boards to the far left side, where the Mariners collect and they'll work off of the half wall, gets it through to McGuire, load, shoots looking low, and that went off a skate. And I think that was Sam Lewis that blocked that one again as well. Circling at the point, McGuire drops off, you can hear the stick hitting the ice, penalties coming to a close. Now he's back out on the ice, and we're back to 5-on-5. Saucer pass to McGuire, one-time shot by Nolan Wickham, and that one goes wide of the goal. Mariners still with some pressure shot from distance, and that's swallowed up. Jacob Drapeau saw that through a screen, and he covers up with a little over 6 minutes remaining here in period number 2. Mariners, though, happy with that puck control that they had once they established the zone presence. And there's a few glove taps down on the defensive side of the puck. Brandon Maud from Fort St. John, BC. Also the home of Jim Hewson, legendary Canadian broadcaster. I'll tell you, I sure loved listening to him in my late teens, early 20s, watching Canuck game and Maple Leafs games. Puck is inside the zone now. Cook throws a hard check along the boards as he momentarily dispossesses his man of the puck. Zion Lavoie in the corner looking for the tip in front. Lavoie had left that position behind the goal and headed straight for the net, and he nearly got paid off. Now out of the corner they come. Look at that saucer pass through the middle. Oh, and they whiff it just wide on the far side. Didn't miss the outside of the post by much. What a grade A opportunity, but the puck was rolling on them. Nicholas Hughes snuck in from the point, and he had a glorious chance there. He did not miss by much. Hooked into the middle for Daniels. All he could do was reach out for it, and the pass was put through the crease off the goaltender's stick. They're not out of trouble yet. 5:11 to go, period number 2. Both teams giving it, and there's a turnaround shot by Catelier, but he's going to head right back towards the goal. Looking for the tip through the middle was Daniels. Played to the point for Wickham. Over to the left side he goes, gets the return. They're going to trade spots. Skating hard behind the net, but a great stick in the corner. And that broke up that play quite nicely. Nicholas Hughes has been huge here towards the end of the second period here. Catelier shooting from distance. That was a great butterfly save, a great reactionary save. And Jacob Drapeau has been dropped into the action hot and heavy. Down ice pass, it's gloved down and sent in by Andrew Castellato. Gonna facilitate a short change here for the Vikes. Mariners skating 4 now to center, 3 of them over the blue line. through the middle, looking for Strom. It's in his skates, but it's also in the defender's skates. They all file down in a pile, and nobody has it sent out. And Wickham has to be careful here. He's the lone man back. He chips it off of the board safely. Gets a return pass, and that was nicely set up by Wickham, who's going to set his mates up. Strom plays it through to the middle for Corbett. Has a look over his shoulder, left shooting forward, plays it to Tyson Pause, who just sent it in behind the goal. But the Mariners are going to give up possession on that. Good hit by McGuire, though. Gave him a second chance to keep the pressure on. But the Vikes, great dexterity as they get it down ice. 2-on-2, shot through traffic, and that bounce off of Cole McGuire's skate. McGuire with a key block there in the back half of this. The last few minutes of this period, we're down to 3 1/4. Near side pass for the Vikes, 2-on-1. Here they come. Saucer to pass. Oh, off of the inside of the crossbar. Just labeled and hit off the inside of the crossbar. Eric Stinson let it rip. There's another shot. Blocker save. Comes to the point for Cook. Shoots. And another block from inside the line. Cook's going to go for a skate, though. Peels off at the bottom of the face-off circle. High up top for Pause. Looking for a lane. Shooting. And he does have a man in front. That's Burgesson. And Burgesson creating an awesome screen in front. Jacob Drapeau had to look over his left shoulder to try and find the path of that puck. Burgesson getting very close to creating enough of a screen to make that a super dangerous shot. He was literally 2 feet from Jacob Drapeau when that puck hit Drapeau and dropped down. Goods couldn't win that face-off draw against Tom Sweeney, who plays it up along the near side for Sam Lewis, who didn't quite make center as he sent the puck in behind goaltender Matt Fleet. So the puck will come down ice 180 feet here for a face-off over to Drapeau's left. And it looks like Jackson Goods will once again, actually no, Cage Newens is out there. He could potentially take it, but Jackson Goods will get the nod here. He and Newens both right shooting forwards. And Danforth is on the point. He also shoots right. He has to reach up to grab that one, but a good forecheck here. Cut through the middle. Vikes looking dangerous. Shot on goal. Fought off. Puck is laying there, and it got knocked out. Now in on goal, and a shot off of the right pad, and a great recovery by Matt Fleet. Oh, Fleet did all sorts of great work there, and keeping the Mariners tied at 2. And the play mercifully stopped as it bounces off of the mesh netting, and the Mariners were breathing a sigh of relief to be able to get a brand new crew out onto the ice. And it's not that Newens and Goods were overly tired, but their line had really been stretched out there on that puck steal right inside the line by Drew Dornan. And Drew Dornan, he got off in a hurry. Saucer pass finds its way to Earhart. Moving in over the line, 1-on-2. Has Hunter going to the goal. All sorts of bodies colliding in the middle of the ice. Up to the point, Cook puts it down low. Sato tried a quick backhand, and he couldn't get the hook underneath that one. But they have possession at center, and it's sent hard in off of a stick, and into the corner it goes as Cade Laskowski knocked that one down with the shaft of his stick. Pass that was intended for the far side for the Mariners. They can't hook up, but they're going to try it again. Nolan Wickham sending it down ice. Hard hit just outside the blue line by Carson Earhart as he staples Josh Green. Lots of physicality picking up now. The Mariners throwing bodies around here. The most recent was Maud. Into the middle, one pass at the side of the goal. They score a beautiful tip at the side of the net. Mason Hartley was right there, and he was able to redirect that hard pass shot from the corner. And what a play by the Vikes. And that pass made it through from Cade Laskowski, and he really helped thread that together. And that means the Vikes are up a goal, and it's going to be tough for the Mariners to try and force another tie game situation here before the end of the period. They've only got 70 seconds to do it. Big goal by the Vikes as Cade Laskowski fights off a check in the corner and gets that puck free to the high slot, and the shot pass was perfectly timed to the side of the goal. Mason Hartley, the recipient of a great shot pass. Puck goes towards the goal, and Daniels steaming to the net. He takes a small shove as he gets in the crease there from Alexander Smith. And now there's a conversation happening out towards the blue line there. I'm not sure if McGuire wants too much to do with this situation. He certainly doesn't want to feed any fuel here for the Vikes with time running out here, under 45 seconds to go in the second period. But he was having words with Savek Brar, and Brar seemed a little bit more interested in having the conversation. Maybe he just wanted to know where he gets all of his great hockey sticks, and of course the answer is Kirby's source for sports. Play back in session now with 38 seconds remaining, and there's a hit as Pause went down, and they have already got it picked out who's going initially, but now there's some stuff happening, some face washes, but it's hard to face wash Pause because he's got that cage, and so does his counterpart, Alexander Smith, as he and the Vikes forward now getting up from the bottom of that pile. I told you that there was some blood boiling there a little bit as number 13, Savek Brar, finally had enough. And I think he went after McGuire there along the side boards right in front of the Vikes bench. Now there's some conversation happening between these two clubs. And, Don Miller poised outside of the penalty box. He's wondering what this conversation will yield between the two head referees here tonight. And Chris Jones looks on from the bench, the Mariners head coach, to see if his club is going to have any kind of disadvantage here heading down the final 36 seconds of the period and on into period number 3. Regardless, the face-off looks like it will happen outside of the Vikes, outside of the Mariners' blue line. Mariners with 33 shots, and that now it is evened up, though. It looks, I think I saw the referee give the motion 5-on-5, but there is a Mariner in the box. I don't know if it's a misconduct or what it is. We're gonna have to wait to hear, but I think the referee was signaling that it'll be 5-on-5. I could be wrong. Vikes out on the ice, they're looking for a little bit of clarification. Cade Laskowski, who was very important in that most recent goal collected by the Vikes, it's given them this 3-2 lead. It's the narrowest of leads, but they have it. And that puts more pressure here on their opponents in the white and the blue. Skating left to right on your screens and tablets, monitors, however you're watching us. There's a face-off win, and a man that just hit the post not too far back, Mason Hartley, rips it into the corner. They'll try a shot through traffic now. 24 seconds left on the clock. Through the middle they go. Cook had his stick partially lifted, but he gets... Okay, so 2 and a 10-minute misconduct, so Brar is obviously gone to the dressing room to finish off the rest of this period, and he'll be back midway through the third. Pass through the slot, that was tipped in front, and the Mariners never do get another full shot on goal, but that's how the period ends, and it's a 3-2 lead for the Victoria Vikes after 40 minutes. And it's been a tight one here so far, but it was 1-1 after one period of play. But a late goal here for the Vikes, and a beautiful one at that. Cade Laskowski with a seeing eye pass through to Mason Hartley, and they get things done. Dario Zitko's also had one for the Vikes, and for the Mariners, of course, they got off to that good start about 8 minutes in. And Carson Earhart scoring another goal, the Penticton BC product, collecting a marker here tonight, as he did last night in Victoria. And so far, the game has been kind of everything we expected it would be. These two clubs, as I mentioned, 90% of their games last season ending in 1-goal differences. And last night, just a perfect tribute to that. 6-5 at the Ian Stewart Complex in Victoria. And for their part here after 40 minutes, the UVic Vikes riding some solid offense and a couple of very timely goals. And we did mention that Mason Hartley, he's had one rip off the post. And Montgomery Parsons, he also had one ring off the iron. That was in the first period. So the Vikes, even though they've only managed 10 shots, they've scored 3 goals on Matt Fleet, and 2 goaltenders splitting the action here tonight for the Vikes. As mentioned, Ronan Garrity, he had the first period and a half, and the second half of the game will belong to Jacob Drapeau, and he was dropped into the fire, and he reacted very admirably, handling that stress test, as he came up big with a few stops, and particularly that one where there was a shot from about 24 feet out in the middle of the slot, and he was able to see around the traffic and make that stop. It was a pretty difficult one to make, and that's part of the reason why his club is up 3-2 here at Nanaimo Ice Center in beautiful Nanaimo, British Columbia. And I'd also like to thank fans for being with us here tonight and checking out some collegiate exhibition action. As I mentioned, we can't really let these guys in on the secret that it's exhibition, because they're playing like it's just another rivalry game between these two with points up for grabs. And there's still a lot of pride out on the ice. You could see it in that latest scrum that happened just before the period had come to a close. So Savek Brar, he'll be serving his misconduct till about the halfway point of the third period. And for the Mariners' part, they'll also have the similar penalization on the play. And that's where we stand after 40 minutes. The VIU Mariners, they've got a power play goal. So do the UVic Vikes. But the Vikes have a 1-goal advantage heading into the third period. We're going to step away for a few minutes, and we will be back with an exciting third period in BCIHL action here with Bryce Williamson and Lorenzo Jensen. We're going to guide you home on this one. Third period coming up, about 12 minutes. All right, Mariners, Vikes, period 3. And one goal separating these two teams, and it came relatively late in the second period. Power play goal, and a very lovely one at that for the Vikes. And they win the opening face-off here in the third. Pass is deflected up through the middle by Burgesson for the Mariners, and he's back to Maud. Brandon Maud sending it in hard behind the Vikes goal along the near side half wall. Puck is sent off of the boards. You could hear Dario Zitko calling for it. He has a goal in this one already. He leaves off for Maud, who will send it right back along the reverse plane. Wickham has it in his skates. This fresh ice a little bit slick here, but also a little sticky in some parts, as this often happens. Burgesson off the left side, puts on the brakes along the half wall. He feeds it to the point, but that's a little too fast for Danforth to control. So he leaves for Cook. Burgesson absorbs a hit, but he makes the play to get the puck along the boards. Backhand gets just inside the line, but the Vikes are content to get a line change here. And they quickly get the Zion Lavoie line out there with Andrew Keselato and Savek Brar. But Savek Brar, of course, missing here at the moment. The puck goes off a deflection, off of a stick out of play by Austin Montgomery Parsons, and that'll be a face-off inside the University of Victoria zone. Once again, thank you for being here at this beautiful arena here in Nanaimo, the Nanaimo Ice Center, 753rd Street. And lots of good sports happen here, let me tell you, especially hockey. Danforth in behind the goal. 4 bodies there. He's getting some help from Sato, but the puck is played free by Josh Green. He nearly fell and then finally did lose his balance, but not before he got the puck forward, and they are onside. The Vikes are, as they're inside with Carson Strom. Played back to the point, shot from Green, took a tip in front, and that one goes up into the netting with a sprawling Carson Strom in front of the goal. He took a bit of a hit there in front of the net, trying to battle for position, and he'll head off the ice as the next line is up. Alexander Smith, he's in between Cade Laskowski and Mason Hartley. Hartley lined up on the right side, but the Mariners win the draw back to Wickham, and now it's played up to Ways, and he'll just flip it inside the zone. Vikes get there first, though. Very quick they did. Good boot there by Wickham to at least keep the play from being too dangerous, but here's a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Shot! A good save off of the goal stick. Matt Fleet. Actually, no, that's off of his helmet. He's giving his helmet a shake. That definitely, I thought there was a bit of a clacking sound, and it wasn't just the goal stick. That was his helmet, and he's going to go for a little skate outside the paint, but I think he looks okay and good to go. Face off to his right now. Catelier winning that draw. That pass a little too hot for Ways to handle, and Vikes send it back in deep. Good pressure along the half wall, and they free the puck up. Quite a combination here tonight. Mason Hartley and Cade Laskowski, the number 27 and 37 on your program. And speaking of Laskowski, picks it up. He's in flight, scores! Snaps it off the inside of the post, down underneath the trapper, about 2 feet off the ice, and it's a 4-2 lead for the University of Victoria Vikes. And I told you it was looking dangerous as they managed to keep that puck from getting outside of the line and streaking down the left side. And you see that back leg of Cade Laskowski just drag and drop way back as he snapped that one for all he was worth. And he put it low and hard underneath the trapper of Matt Fleet, and they've grabbed a 2-goal cushion here early in the third period. Puck is sent in deep. As I mentioned at the outset of this one, the Vikes would love to come back and ruin this exhibition home setup here for the VIU Mariners. And they're off to a great start to that effect. Out of the corner they come, sent far side. Oh, look at that pass through the middle. It was always looking Drew Dornan, but they weren't able to hook it up. It was a hard pass that had to be made. Corbett has a man trapped inside. He's got to let that puck go, and he does. Andrew Castellato sending it in deep for his mates to go and chase. Zion Lavoie shields the puck with his body for a moment, but he took a backside hit from Brandon Maud. And his defensive partner Cook knocks that one out of midair, that clear in deep, and they'll get Hunter off to the races on the right side. Goods going to the net. Mariners look like they have some purpose here. Feed to the point. Pause has to be careful as he takes it on the backhand, but he keeps it alive. It was a good keep in. Goods tries to step around his man. And speaking of great plays, Nicholas Hughes doing a good job staying with him defensively. Puck is sent out off the near side boards. And they're going to catch up to it. Montgomery Parsons has it in behind the boards. He's a right shooting forward. He's trying to battle off Burgesson off the backside, and Burgesson now kicks the puck free, and the Mariners get the puck down ice. Now a 3-on-3. The drop pass is made to Newens, moves into neutral ice, shoots, and there's a rebound. Oh, and it was off of the stick. Good save by Drapeau. Oh, Jacob Drapeau. Now a shot through traffic. Tip, they score! It's poked underneath by Burgesson. Burgesson, like a hound to the bone, and he just stayed with it, and he found that loose puck, and he pokes it in under Jacob Drapeau, and they've gotten within one, the Mariners have. That is just dogged determination and a great answer back goal here by the Mariners. They could have maybe taken a little pity lap or a little pity timeout, but no, not this crew. The boys in white and blue getting right down to business. Nolan Wickham has to get his body down to get in front of that one, and he helps turn the play back the other way. Here comes Newens, and he has Goods in the slot following him up, fighting off his check. Look at that battle with he and Josh Green. Green throws another cross check. These guys are going tooth and nail. Newens trying to get his glove repositioned. Had it for a moment. Wickham did everything he could to poke it forward down to the side of the goal, and Newens, that was just too far out of his reach. But he jousts with Green, and he lifts his stick, gets the puck back to the point. Wickham takes a step looking for the tip in front, and Newens, that was going to be pretty. As he has a look around, he takes another hit as he gets rid of the puck. Cage Newens taking all sorts of punishment here. And oh, and that hit from behind the net. Josh Green has come to play, throwing the body, and he's having a big shift here. He's tired, but he's had a big shift. And they get the puck down ice indeed, and they'll backhand it in. Puck comes around to Mason Hartley. He's being watched closely there by Jackson Goods, who came back on the back check assignment. Just another one-goal game. Nothing to see here out of the unordinary or ordinary. Down the ice it goes, flipped off of the defender, but it's a 1-on-4 for Strom, and that being, of course, the Strom. I'm gonna have to find a way to just announce first names here. We've got Carson Strom, and of course for the Mariners, Landon Strom. And away they come. There's a drop pass for Landon. Has a man going through the middle, and it's Sato, and he almost got to the far side of the crease to get that deflection. Boy, he was skating well there. Landon Strom has definitely picked up the play here in the third period, and he's buzzing out there as he tries to back check, but it's away 3-on-2 if they hurry. Into the corner. Drew Dornan gets stapled into the boards, and that allows the Mariners to turn the puck back the other way. Nice saucer pass for Corbett. Finds Sato in flight, tries to protect the puck, and a good stick poke at the last second. Nicholas Hughes dispossessing him. He'll just slap it off the glass, gets it out to center where Cook knocks it down. Chase Cook, another Penticton product. The Vancouver Canucks doing their training camp there right now in Penticton. Off of the half boards. Stick gets sent towards the Mariners bench. Wickham's backing up. It's going to be close, but at least he got a poke on it. Got there just ahead of Montgomery Parsons. Play in behind the goal. Wickham just plays it along the boards further where the Mariners get it out to center, but it's slapped right back in on the backside. Eric Stinson just sent it down ice, and then his defensive partner goes over and lays a pretty big hit on the Mariners Matthew Catelier, and he felt that, but he pops back up. He's back into the fray. Owen Ways just took a solid shot right at the blue line as he got stepped into there. Tom Sweeney labeled him with that hit. Shoulder into the chest. Slapped in. Actually more chopped in than anything, pardon me. Play is in the corner, but it's not sent out. Maud takes a step around his man, pokes it with one hand into the corner. Daniels gets a return feed. Maud trying to get it to the middle. Didn't give up on it, but he had two Vikes on him, and now it's a 3-on-1 into the slot off the skate. Tries to play it in, a big stop. Puck is just laying there, but it's covered by Matt Fleet. That is a big save by Matthew Fleet. Very timely save, as it was a 3-on-1, and he took the right man. He made the right projection, and he makes a sprawling save, and he covers it up underneath of his chest. Big stop by the goaltender, just making himself big and staying right with the play. Good anticipation by Fleet. Vikes with control inside their own blue line. We're down to just under 12 minutes to play. Third period. Shots are 37 for the Mariners, 13 for the Vikes, but they have a one-goal lead. Earhart defers, shot trickles through to the goaltender, Jacob Drapeau. He's not going to take any chances here as he scoops that one up and hangs on for the whistle. So the face-off will be just off to the left of Drapeau. Corbett will take this face-off, and he's up against Zion Lavoie, who lost that draw shot from the point, and that's swallowed up about 6 or 7 inches inside the blue paint. Drapeau, number 31, he'll stop that one. Shot number 39. And I'm trying to remember exactly what the shots were at when they switched up halfway through the second period, or a little more, just a little over halfway through. And I want to say it was around 24 or 25 shots at that point for the Mariners. So 14 shots for Drapeau. Here's the one-time opportunity, but it was in the skates of Earhart. Now he plays it back to Wickham, who has it on the line, shoots through traffic, big stop off the blocker. Puck was laying there, and the Mariners nearly got a secondary shot off. Good defensive play by the Vikes, and they're back the other way. Shot goes off of the stick of Wickham into the corner. Vikes, though, throwing it through the slot, and that's intercepted smartly by Wickham, and he's away with Earhart and Hunter. Hunter on the far trail. He gets the puck. Makes a nice little move around the defender. Far side for Earhart from behind the goal. Saucer pass through the middle, and that had to be very tightly executed. Back comes Cook. And Cook battling, throwing a body, and he gets one in return. Oh, look out as Wickham, he was in the trolley tracks there. Tom Sweeney had him lined up, and there's a shot by Jackson Goods as his line announces its presence. They get the cycle going, but they had it bounce off of their stick in the corner, and now that's going to allow an outlet, at least for the Cougars, to get it out into the Vikes territory, or pardon me, the Mariners territory. Burgesson puts on the brakes. He has a goal in this one. Leaves. Out of the corner comes Goods. He drops off for Cage Newen, sends it to the point. Shot through traffic, and that one was deflected 5 feet out from the shot. Cook times that, but it bounces off of a player, and it's on the wing here now. Hit along the board, stops Justin McKnight from advancing, and now a couple of sticks get up. Jackson Goods, he's having a couple of words here as he had his stick lifted at the last second by Austin Montgomery Parsons, but I think they're just going to separate. Goods, he's done this dance before. He's played this game, and he knows this is a very crucial time. We're just over halfway through the period, and with it being a one-goal game, they want to give themselves every chance. Corbett had that one roll off of his stick as it got played back into Victoria territory. Here's an intercept from behind the goal. Sato dropped to a knee, but at least he got the puck to the far corner for Corbett. Oh, the defender pinched in from the side of the goal. Sharp angle shot, and what a good save. Reactionary by Jacob Drapeau. Mariners get lucky with that errant pass, but the Vikes, they brought it back in, so the play was onside. If the Mariners could have got away with that puck, it wouldn't have been a long way to go to get in on the goaltender. Puck is one-handed up the boards. Landon Strom. Now they play it to Brandon Maud, who stick handles through traffic on the hook inside to Landon Strom. Shoots and a blocker stop. Jacob Drapeau getting into perfect position there. Catelier, he wants to keep going. Puck is under the defender. Tries to play it with his hand. Can't get it loose, and the puck is on the side of the goal. It went right through the blue paint. Oh, that was close. Drapeau couldn't see it, but it went right past him. Just past his trapper side, but it stays out of the net, and it's still 4-3 for the Vikes. Full line changes in effect for both teams as the Mariners work it out of their own zone. Look at that stretch pass. Catelier now over to Ways. He wants to return, and he was just being dogged from the back. And Josh Green's going to take a penalty for that. Sharp angle, and they shoot. Puck is knocked down, and it's cleared out. And one of the Mariners just got dumped in ceremonious fashion right at the side of the goal. That was Cook that got launched. His skates got knocked right out from underneath of him. Wow, if Cooks could fly, and he sure did. And a whole bunch of talking after that, but at the end of it all right, and there now Brar comes out of the penalty box after that. Those coincidental misconducts. So now both players are done their misconducts, as we talked about heading into this third period. But the Mariners, most importantly, they have a power play. They've scored one, and they're very motivated to try and find another one here with a face-off to the left of Drapeau. Newens into the draw. He wins it to his winger. They get it back. Hunter, that nice pass to Newens, one-time shot. Oh, off the outside of the post. Big shot by Earhart, and he loads it off the post. Earhart now with control. Drops off for Brandon Maud. That pass gets knocked way up into the air. So 2 minutes for hooking. Josh Green, pass to Newens. Oh, they were looking to come far side off of the skate tip. Earhart from the left face-off circle, works off the half boards, moves in, snaps it. Good block there by the defense. Nicholas Hughes getting in front of that one. Earhart shovels back to Maud. He's going to take his time, gets it sent to Newens on the right. 1.25 left into the slot. Daniels scores! Austin Daniels, lock and load from the slot. And that one beats Drapeau just off the trapper side, and it's a 4-4 tie. The Mariners have power play goal number 2. And that is your prime performance and therapy power play at work. The VIU Mariners draw even up with 7.5 to go in the third period, and a big goal on shot number 43. Face-off win goes to the Vikes, and it's almost a brand new game with just 7.5 minutes for the total game. Will we go to OT? It's hard to say. Face-off win by the Mariners. Goes back to Cole McGuire. Shot from distance, and that's off of the left pad and into the corner. Drapeau kicking that one out easily. Burgesson battling in the corner, trying to force the Vikes from getting that puck down ice, but on a secondary effort, they're able to do so. There's the back pass. Burgesson. So Cage Newens getting the assist. Oh, that long shoot in, it bounced on Drapeau, and he had to juggle that one. Burgesson got in on the forecheck. He threw a hit, and now Jackson Goods working with Newens. Hard hit from the corner into the high slot. There's a shot, took it off the skate. Good play by Goods. Oh, and Cage Newens, he's hurt. It looks like his right leg. There's the backhand pass through the slot, and the puck was just whiffed on at the last moment. Eric Stinson on the trail. He just had that go under his stick. There's the steal by the Vikes. inside the line, the backhand hook towards the goal, and that one deflected to the corner by the goaltender Matt Fleet. That one was starting to shape up to be a little bit dangerous, as the Vikes needing some redemption here. They had that lead, hard pass, and that was going to be almost impossible to take. But Mason Hartley has it now off the half wall. Tried the saucer pass, and McGuire took that one off his shin pad, gets Corbett going the other way. On the drop, there's Landon Strom, shoots, and that one just up over the trapper. Drapeau had to be alert. It was a very sneaky shot. Didn't look like he had any wind-up at all, just kind of like went right into the motion and got rid of it. Just got up a little too quick on him as Josh Green. He is the reason this game is tied. He went to the box for that hooking call. It was one of those plays where he kind of had to make a last-ditch hook to see if he could keep the forward from going 1-0 with the goaltender. Out comes the puck the other way as Drew Dornan fights his way to center, and he dumps it into the corner, chip and chase. He had Danforth right behind him as the puck squeaks free to Matt Fleet, and he reaches behind him, and he covers that one up, pulls it into the crease, and that'll stop play with a little over 5 minutes to go. Hope you're enjoying this hockey game. I always enjoy these Mariner Vikes tilts. They're something else, and this one is exactly as billed. It's 4-4 shots for the Mariners, 45 and 13 for the University of Victoria Vikes. Face-off win by the Mariners was picked up by the winger for the Vikes, and now that shot goes high and up into the corner as Dario Zitko applies some pressure. Vikes are forced back, but that pass eluded Daniels, who has the most recent goal for the Mariners, got him on even terms. Oh, and that puck bounced off of a skate from behind the goal, went dangerously into the middle of the ice. Ways, has Catelier going to the net, tries to feed it to him, doesn't get it there the first time, takes a whack at it, but carrying on, picking up the puck is Ways. Catelier slaps his stick as he really was hoping to get that puck played off his stick properly into the corner, but he got whacked at the last second. Down goes Earhart, but he tried to stick handle around one too many. Oh, and bodies go flying as the body that came across the middle, Alexander Smith, was being targeted, it looked like, by two players. I think Pause was going to hit him initially, and then some pressure came from the near side. Oh yeah, this Alexander Smith skates took out the Mariner that was entering that area. Oh boy, that was one of the bigger collisions you're gonna see. And you saw how that sent number 80, Alexander Smith, onto his backside into the slot area, and one of the Mariners almost did a flip. Unbelievable stuff. I told you, these big guys and the power they have. Corbett protecting the puck against two, sent it high into the slot. Earhart finds the handle and he steps around his man, or does he? Oh, great recovery by Alexander Smith to get body position on Earhart, who looked like he was going to be able to work his way around him. Now getting some help from big Reed Fryer. Puck is flipped down ice and there's a race for it. Cade Laskoski, though, he's going to need to be extra speedy to get back in time to beat out Cole McGuire. Hard pass through the middle. That's intercepted. It's picked off. And just offside. They just couldn't get tied up there at the line. Andrew Castellato. And that was a close call. All right, Mariners face off outside of their blue line. Into the middle. Tom Sweeney takes that draw. Puck is wristed in hard behind the goal. All Fleet can do is slow it down a little bit. Puck is on edge, rolling up against the yellow paint on the end boards. Nice little dish to the middle by Newens, and now they're back away. Good to see him skating fully again. Shot that goes off of the defenseman, Sam Lewis, making another block. He's had a few of those tonight. Great defensive plays by Lewis. And Josh Green, too. He just happened to take a penalty on one of them. Whiffed pass, doesn't make the point from Jackson Goods, but Noah Danforth helps play it in behind the goal. Cage Newens throws his body and knocks his man down, which is Josh Green. Shedding a check as Jackson Goods tried to play it to the point. Good intercept initially by Drew Dornan, but he can't get it out. Puck flips through the middle of the ice, picked up by the Mariners. Newens lets it come to him off the half wall. Wickham in behind him, he just shoots it towards the goal. It's always a great idea to funnel that puck towards the net, forcing that blocker save. They get it out to Savic Brar, and he'll just lay it like a curling shot down ice, but it was just a little too much by Brar. The puck was wobbling, and it looked like it was going to slow down a little bit, but it was just a little too much mustard on that puck. And the puck comes back 180 feet for a face-off over to the right of Jacob Drapeau. Once again, we just absolutely love having you guys on the broadcast with us. Thank you so much for spending time with us here tonight. Told you we were going to be in for a great treat here. Saturday night's all right for VIU Mariners hockey, especially here in Nanaimo. What a great contest last night at the Ian Stewart Complex too. 6-5, Mariners pulling out a win there, and they're deadlocked at 4 here after a big goal from Austin Daniels. Brandon Mode waits, shoots, great stop. Jacob Drapeau flashes the leather as he sees through a screen. He got down, and he makes that one look relatively easy, but I assure you it was anything but. Maud with that little hesitation, and he had Tom Sweeney going down to one knee to try and get in front of it, but that left Sweeney vulnerable for a moment, and he walked around and he got off a grade A shot. Bodies in the face-off circle, but Landon Strom's the one that comes away with it. Gets Sato to join him on this cycle here out of the corner. Strom defers for Brandon Maud to the other point. There's a wrister through traffic, and that was blocked in front by Josh Green. 1:45 to go, third period. Deadlocked at 4s into the slot. Landon Strom takes a shot, rebound, and it goes right into the trapper. Big stop. Jacob Drapeau just coming across. And not only did he make that first stop look easy, the second one he got there rather handily. He gets his body tight to the post, and Drapeau has been showing very well here in the third period. Yeah, he allowed a goal on that power play opportunity, or on the back end of that power play by Austin Daniels, but he's been making big stops here to keep the Vikes from dropping that lead late in the game. Maud makes another head fake, gets past one from out of the corner in the slot, tried to play it to Catelier, but it was in a little too close in the wheelhouse. Catelier falls as he tries to check, and now the puck is just swept in wide of the goal by Mason Hartley into the VIU zone, and now the puck is tipped out to center by Ways, and that's gonna get us close to the 1 minute remaining. Here's a one-touch off of the corner. Mason Hartley saucers it through, and a great stick. Double pad stack coming across in the butterfly, and Matt Fleet makes one of his biggest stops of the game. Stone cold on Cade Laskowski, who has a goal and an assist in this one. And a perfect saucer pass from Mason Hartley, and he and Cade Laskowski nearly hooking up. I told you, they play so well together. Puck is poked off of good sticks as he enters the zone. 32 seconds to go from the corner. Sharp angle chance, and that's fought off by Drapeau. To the point. Off of the half boards. Earhart trying to play it to himself. Gets it into the middle, has some room, and he takes a shoulder at the last second. He couldn't get loose. Puck is chipped off the boards, down to 14 seconds on the ticker. Up through the middle. Earhart. One move, now two, into the slot, finds McGuire, tried a snapshot, and he couldn't get it loose. And the puck is shot down ice, and the puck is on edge. And as time comes to an end at the end of the period, now Goods is all tied up and into it. And he's in a wrestling match with Dario Zitko. Zitko all smiles as he gives him one last little farewell palm in the grill, but I don't think it's going to lead to anything significant. One of the Vikes had lost their stick on the play. Oh, and then indeed that was Dario Zitko, so that was his stick that was knocked out of his hands. So they're gonna take a moment, take a sip, maybe get a word or two from the coach and the assistant coaches. Cold pickup, of course, and Aiden Morrison, assistant coaches, along with Brian Magic and Jackson Egan to support Alec Dillon, head coach for the Vikes, and Chris Jones for his part. I think he's quite confident with what the Mariners are going to bring to the table here. Now I do see, okay, it looks like both penalty boxes will have a man in there, as I think they felt that might have been worthy of offsetting penalties at the end of the period. So here we are, 4-4, 30 minutes. Or pardon me, 60 minutes, not enough. We're gonna need another 10 or so. Who knows, maybe we'll dial it in before that, but as per the game script, these games often end in a one-goal decision, and just like last night at the Ian Stewart Complex, it's gonna be another one-goal decision here, unless they're able to finish it in the overtime period. I'm not sure if they'll have a shootout in the exhibition. I cannot say for certain. I should have double-checked that, but didn't know if I was exactly envisioning Now, Cole McGuire picked up 2 minutes at the end of the period for boarding. Oh boy, so, wow, so we are not going to get to see 4-on-4 hockey. We're gonna be seeing some 4-on-3 Vikes power play hockey here to start overtime. Oh my goodness. Brandon Maud, he'll be out there to open things up with his mate Scatelier. And the draw belongs to the Vikes. Cade Laskowski, who nearly got them a goal near the end of the third period, and that one comes outside the line. They're gonna have to regroup, and the puck comes back to Mason Hartley. Hartley has his mates lined up 3 deep, but he decides to change back. I don't think he liked the way that the entry looked. Maybe in particular the entry there by Eric Stinson, who has shown a proclivity to join the rush. And they're just offside, and I think Alexander Smith was maybe a shade offside there, step offside. So a couple of little kinks and glitches, which are the things that you work out in these exhibition games. So there'll be another face-off here outside of the Mariners blue line, and Ways in to take this face-off. And even though the face-off is won by the Victoria Vikes, they do have to swing back and take a couple seconds off the clock here. Now they're in over the line onside. The pass is sent over to Laskowski, moves in, snaps it. That's blocked in front by Ways. Owen Ways making himself big, and as he went to the ice, he gets his shin pad in front of that one, and a nice block by Ways. Puck being brought to center, weaving through traffic. Mason Hartley, one of the Mariners, thought maybe it was offside. They try and close the gap a little bit. Zion Lavoie. Now they send it to the top of the umbrella. Fake shot. Now he shoots. Hartley does, and that one's a stick save by Matt Fleet. Hammered to the point, but kept in on the near side. Dished over to Drew Dornan. Back to the umbrella. Loading. Shoots, and another block. And it's the same usual suspect. Owen Ways getting in front. And he definitely hurt his arm. I think that puck hit him in the wrist as he went down, and you could hear him. He was in all sorts of pain as he went down. Yeah, it was hard for him to get up. Normally he uses that left hand as the bottom hand to help get leverage, and now a penalty has been called against Mason Hartley. So with only 21 seconds remaining in the power play for the Vikes, that's been squashed. It's going to be 4-on-4 for the next 21 seconds, and then after that, the Mariners get their chance at the man advantage. Face-off will be to the right of Jacob Drapeau. Burgesson into the face-off, tried to feather it through to himself. Couldn't get it past Zion Lavoie, who's breaking 2-on-2, hung a skate at the line. There's a shot, and it bounced off of someone in front, but it's collected again by Cade Laskowski. Looking back, Brandon Maude had lifted his stick for a moment, but he's getting some help out of the corner. Now in behind the goal, putting on the brakes. Zion Lavoie on the backhand, thought about shoveling it, takes a hit. And now he's just killing time off of this power play, but he's going to have to get to the bench quickly. He lost his stick as he got hit. McGuire going to the middle. Can they get it to him? Oh, and the pass just a little too hard and in front of him, but he gets the puck back. He's going to get off the ice as they send in Earhart. Holds, shoots. Oh, and he ripped that one, but it bounced off of the glass and into the net. So that's going to stop play with 2:30 remaining in this overtime session. A minute 10 up on the clock here remaining in this power play for the Mariners. And a reminder, it's a 4-on-3 situation. Lots of ice. Brandon Maude, Nolan Wickham out there for the Mariners. Hunter Burgesson from Airdrie, Alberta, he's out there as well. Earhart couldn't win the draw, tried to kind of jump through the pack, couldn't get the puck. McGuire regroups inside his own zone. Smooth skating Wickham sends it to Burgesson. In over the line, tried to get around his man, but a good recovery there by Green. Wickham through the slot, there's this one time, and that one stopped as Maude had snuck in from the point. Wickham now 43 on the power play, loads, one-time pass. Oh, they tried to go back door to Earhart, and they couldn't get it to him. Puck is shifted down ice. Out to meet it is Fleet, and he gets the play started again. There goes Wickham. He's got Earhart on the near side. Jackson Goods on the trail, and he'll play it to him. Goods, right shooting forward. Avoided one check there, but he backhanded it right onto the stick of Alexander Smith, who's had a whale of a game. Number 80's been very big for this Vikes club here tonight. Maude puts on the brakes just inside the line, plays it down below the goal line for his mates to pick up. One in the slot. Earhart takes a step, loads, shoots, and he was looking for a tip off of Cook, who'd snuck in from the point. Reaches back, finds it. The power play's over. Soft pass to Earhart, shoots, and that one just wide on the left. Cook now finding the puck, 1:11 to go in the OT. Cook from the line, from in front, trying to pull it around was Earhart. He tried to spin, and he got a solid hit from Green in the process. Sam Lewis pins his man. We're in the last minute of OT. They got a change off. Corbett onto the ice now for the Mariners. Cook in front, rams on it, and that one stopped. And a big pad save by Jacob Drapeau. .49 seconds remaining here in this OT period. Back. I'm just trying to figure out. Now it's 3-on-3 here in this overtime. So lots of ice here now for the final 42 seconds as it's played forward for Drew Dornan. Dornan backs up in front of his goaltender Drapeau, and he delivers the pass through the middle. It did touch the stick of his line mate Andrew Castellato, but he couldn't hang on. Corbett swings out away from center, in over the line. 3 deep on 3, tried to go through the middle of the ice. And now Wick having to get back quickly are the Mariners. A quick check here. Sends it in on towards the goal, and the save just deflected off to the corner. And wow, with 12 seconds left, the puck was just laying there after that initial save by Matt Fleet. And boy, he had to be sharp there. as he played it off the goaltender. It was one of those crazy ones where he had to stop it with the underside of his paddle, so it was lying right there, but he was already committed. He was down on the ice, so it was laying off to his left, but his defense come and bail him out. And now just seconds left in this overtime period. Long stretch pass through the middle, and that's going to about kill the time remaining in the OT session. So indeed, by the players' reaction on the ice alone, wow, so this is the exhibition game that has everything, and here we are at the end of 60 minutes of regulation and a 5-minute OT. 65 minutes solves nothing, and the shootout is going to be the determining factor here. So Matt Fleet dutifully heading into his crease. For his part, Jacob Drapeau, he's going to sit and watch from the bench as he watches his counterpart, who's saved 12 of 16 here tonight. But Fleet with that huge save in the third period on the 3-on-1, giving the VIU Mariners a chance to even get it to the overtime session. And here we are, the overtime session, the 5 minutes, unable to produce a winner. Both teams having a power play in the extra session, which is pretty wild in and of itself. All right, so Cade Laskowski, he's got a couple points here tonight. And more importantly, he has the opening shot here in overtime. Laskowski, right shooting forward, brings it out over to the right. Cuts in at the top of the face-off circle, drags, holds, drags again, scores! He just waited long enough, and he went over Matt Fleet's trapper, and he grabs a goal in the first shootout shot. And now the pressure will be on Burgesson. Hunter Burgesson, he's a left shooting forward. Burgesson picks it up over on the near left side, moving in, holds, backhand, oh, and he just flipped it up over the glove, but I think Drapeau got a little tiny piece of it, sends it to the corner. Hunter Burgesson unable to connect on that one. So number 17, Drew Dornan out here. He's also a right shooting forward, and he's going to take the same path here. Actually, no, wait, he cuts in over the blue line, wants to make it through the hash marks, in on goal, snaps it, scores! It was hard and it was low. It went off of the trapper of goaltender Matt Fleet, and that beats the goaltender, and that's 2 goals for the Victoria Vikes. So it's must-score territory. Now, if anyone to have this opportunity to try and at least keep them alive. Here it's Earhart in on the forehand, the backhand, scores, and he puts it up over the trapper. Earhart with great skating as he stick handles around, and he forced Jacob Drapeau into the butterfly, puts it up over the trapper, and now it's 2-1. But this is a must save here for Matt Fleet. Mason Hartley, he's a left-handed shooter. As he sizes up the goal, legs are wide, stance in slowly, pulls it around, and it's a poke check by Matt Fleet, who pokes it away at the last moment. Unable to make the move from the inside to the outside. Mason Hartley has it poked off his stick. And now for the Mariners, what can Brandon Maud, stick handling slowly. Through the wickets, no, it's saved off of the goal stick. And it's a final. It finishes 5-4 for the University of Victoria Vikes as they crowd around their winning goaltender here. Jacob Drapeau, he played actually over half the game, and he's joined by his mates, including Ronan Garrity, who kept them close through the first period and a half. 60 minutes solved nothing. 65, we couldn't get a winner with a power play in overtime for both teams. And in the shootout, it's a 2-1 goal count in the shootout for the University of Victoria Vikes, who skate off with an exhibition win. And the VIU Mariners, they left it all out on the ice there tonight. They came up just a little bit shy in the overtime period, but boy, what a bunch of thrills along the way. Another amazing game here as Matthew Catelier goes over, and thanks the refs for taking charge tonight and helping keep the game tight and professional out there tonight. So the BCIHL, these two teams trade home disfavors. The Mariners take the first one in Victoria at the Ian Stewart Complex 6-5. And tonight, the University of Victoria Vikes return the favor here in Nanaimo for the VIU Mariners, and they finish off. It's a 5-4 finish as they win the shootout 2-1. And I'm just waiting to see if they have, if they're going to have game stars here tonight. I'm not sure if they do that still in the exhibition. I do see the one gate is open, but I'm not certain if that's going to happen here tonight. Well, we're going to make sure that Bryce Williamson gets home on time. He helped serve you up a great visual feast here tonight. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Intercollegiate hockey, BCIHL style, it doesn't get much better than this. It's 5-4 is your final. 52 shots for the VIU Mariners, 16 for the UVic Vikes. But amazingly, the Vikes able to carry off the 5-4 victory, and they return the favor, a home loss for each of them. But it's just exhibition style, and we've got some very meaningful games coming up. And actually, just one final note. Actually, would like to quick shout out to Butron Financial Solutions, Darren McGee, Royal LePage, Walls Electrical, Harborview, Volkswagen, Original Joe's, Columbia Fuels, Breaking Par, Golf Academy, Best Performance, and Orange Theory Fitness. Your next home game, October 4th, 2025, of course, versus the Lakers, 7:15. I'll be here. Bryce will be here. The whole crew will be here. Join us here at the Nanaimo Ice Center or on the BCIHL YouTube channel as you're doing right now. You guys are beautiful fans. Thank you so much. I'm Lorenzo Jensen. I've had lots of fun. I hope you have a great weekend, and we're going to leave it at that. But to be continued, the rivalry between the Mariners and the UVic Vikes. But Vikes take this one 5-4. Have a great weekend, everyone.